Right now, deep inside your brain, your hippocampus is slamming shut a 90-minute window, and the memory researchers who discovered it admit they have no way to hold it open. But high performers have found one rule that keeps it cracked just long enough to change everything. By the end of this, you'll know exactly what it is. Here's what's happening to you right now. Every piece of information you've absorbed today, a face, a fact, an idea that felt important, is sitting in a temporary buffer. Fragile. Volatile, your brain's filing system held it briefly, tagged it as potentially useful, and then started a countdown. 90 minutes. That's the window. Miss it and the brain doesn't file the memory, it discards it. Not archived somewhere you can't reach. Gone, and you had no idea the clock was running. This isn't about sleep. That's the first thing everyone gets wrong. We're not talking about overnight consolidation. We're talking about a biological rhythm running inside you right now in broad daylight while you're awake. Researchers call it the ultradian rhythm, a 90-minute pulse cycling through your brain all day long. During the peak of each cycle, your hippocampus is actively encoding, transferring. During the trough, it pauses, the gate closes, and we're getting to how to interrupt it. Here's what that looks like inside the tissue itself. When you learn something, neurons in your filing system fire together and start building a physical connection, a synaptic bridge. That bridge requires protein synthesis. The proteins have to be manufactured, transported, and locked into place before the deadline. The 90-minute window isn't arbitrary. It's the biological cutoff for that chain to complete. If the proteins don't arrive in time, the connection degrades. The synaptic bridge collapses before it solidifies. The memory isn't filed. It's demolished, and here's what makes this worse. The neuroscientists who mapped this cycle openly acknowledge they cannot tell you when your personal window is open. They can measure the population average. They cannot measure yours. There's no wearable, no test, no visible marker. The rhythm shifts depending on your sleep debt, your cortisol curve, your stress load from this morning alone. You are running on a biological timer with no display. The rule that stops this is coming, but first, the part nobody publishes. Now here's where everything you've been told falls apart. The standard advice is to review your notes, space your repetitions, sleep on it. All of it is built on the assumption that repetition is the variable that matters. It isn't. Timing is the variable. Passive review during the wrong phase of your ultradian cycle does almost nothing. You could spend 40 minutes rereading a document, and if your hippocampus is in its trough, gate closed, the information bounces off. Worse, high-effort cognitive activity during the consolidation trough can interfere with memories already beginning to form. Grinding harder in the wrong window can erase work you already did. So here's the rule. The one high performers in memory-demanding fields have quietly figured out. They don't force review. They protect the 90 minutes after a learning event by doing almost nothing cognitively demanding. Specifically, 10 to 20 minutes of eyes closed, non-sleep rest immediately after a learning session, no phone, no audio, no input of any kind, followed by a single low-stakes recall attempt. Not flashcards. Not rereading. Just close your eyes and narrate back what you just learned out loud or in your head as if explaining it to someone who missed it. Imperfect, messy, incomplete, that's intentional. The act of retrieving a fragile memory while the synaptic bridge is still under construction is what drives the protein synthesis to completion. Retrieval is the cement. Passive review is wallpaper on wet concrete. Tonight, after you watch something you actually want to remember, a lecture, a conversation, a video, give yourself 15 minutes of no-input rest. Then narrate it back, imperfectly. That's the whole rule. You're not reviewing, you're completing a biological construction project before the materials expire. The deeper implication is what keeps the researchers awake. If your memory encoding is gated by a rhythm you cannot consciously detect, then your subjective sense of how well something is sticking is almost entirely unreliable. You feel like you understand. The window is already closing, and your hippocampus is not the only structure running a hidden countdown on you. There's another region, the one that decides what even gets sent to the filing system in the first place, and the criteria it uses to filter your memories would disturb you.